everybody, I'm Mary. I'm a writer working on probably way too many projects at one time because I just can't focus on one, you know. Bookworm and just all around crafty person, and it's actually the bookworm aspect that I'm going to be talking to you about today because I am going to show you my June TBR list. Now, back in May, I finished way more books than I really expected to. I had set myself a goal, at least on Goodreads, of trying to read 2 books a month, which, you know, left me with 24 books at the end of the year. And in May, I read like 9, maybe 10 books. So I've got way more than that, actually, set aside for my June TBR list. Now, they're either going to be books that I start and hopefully finish, or that I continue reading, or that I've started in the past and then I hope to finish up in June. And it is actually a mix of both physical books and ebooks. I'll flash the images of the ebooks and one audiobook actually up here on the screen as I talk, and let's get started. So the first book that I've chosen for June is The Stolen Kingdom by Bethany Atazadeh. The Stolen Kingdom is actually an Aladdin retelling, and she has 3 books so far in the series. There's also The Genie Key and The Cursed Hunter, and this is actually the old cover, the original cover of her book. They've recently been redesigned, and but I was really intrigued with the idea of The Stolen Kingdom. I had never heard of an Aladdin retelling before, so I'm excited to read this one. All right, next book for June is The Dork Diaries, Tales from a Not So Fabulous Life by Rachel Renee Russell. I picked this one partly because I wanted to read some more middle grade, and because I want to be, you know, both a young adult and a middle grade author, and it helps to read in those categories to be familiar with, you know, what people like. And I'm seeing that the Dork Diaries series is pretty popular, so I'm intrigued to see where this tale goes. And you can see I've already gotten started on it. You know, I've got a little, I'm not even using a real bookmark for this one. I'm just using a little slip of toilet paper. I need to find some real bookmarks. Can't quite decide what you want to do, boy. Oh, oh my kitty, come here, boy, come here. Oh, hi. Oh. Oh, yeah. You have a nightmare or something, pal? All right. Okay, so the next book in my list is the first ebook of the list. It's actually this book is actually the first 5 episodes of a fantasy serial called Dragon School, and I wanted to start reading some serial fiction because, well, frankly, because I'd heard of another author, Brittany Wang, who was interested. Excuse you. Well, hi. Yeah, there's a candle up there, pal. And I'm trying to do something. anyway, Dragon School is this serial that I was interested in, and I think Brittany had actually recommended it to her followers, to her patrons, and anybody else who was interested, because she was interested in serial fiction. Now, I hadn't actually heard of serial fiction, but then, you know, doing some research, doing some talk, or some discussion on like a couple of lives that Brittany Wang had hosted. Turns out that's how a lot of the classical books were first published. And so I'm interested to see where that one goes. Okay, so the next book on the list is Diamonds and Denim by Debbie Makemer. And I'm reading this one partly for research, partly for enjoyment, because I know she puts out some good, clean romance. And that's something that I suddenly had an inspiration to write. A story idea came to me while I was listening to a Backstreet Boys song. What was that one? Well, I was listening to Anywhere for You. The first verse in Anywhere for You says, "I'd walk halfway around the world for just one kiss from you." And that led me to wondering, okay, why would someone do that? Why is somebody halfway around the world from somebody else? And obviously it would be a romance kind of story. And it felt like it was going to be a contemporary romance story. Like it needed to not be a fantasy or a science fiction or anything like that. Just a good old clean contemporary romance. And I realized that I hadn't read many romances that were just, you know, romances. That was usually a subplot to like a mystery or suspense book in all these other books that I had read. But I wanted something where that was actually the main focus. The next book is actually one that I hope to finish reading this month. It's Writing Irresistible Kidlit. It's a writing craft book that I was actually first introduced to in my one of my creative writing classes in college. And since I'm planning to write, you know, young adult and middle grade and, well, wherever else. I mean, the contemporary romance one is going to be adult, but I have loved everything that I've been reading and learning in this book, just for helping me to understand the markets and the characters and just what I really need to focus on. So I definitely want to finish this book in June. The next book on the list is actually the audiobook. It's The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I've been listening to it little by little, and it's, from looking at just the audio length on Audible, it's a whopper of a book. It's like 45 hours of listening to be able to complete the book, and I haven't listened to that many hours of it myself. So I don't know if I want to finish that one or to at least make progress. I think we'll shoot for that one. I'm at least going to make progress on The Way of Kings, just because it is such a long book. And I've read his book Mistborn, the first one in the Mistborn trilogy, and I enjoyed that one. And I have enjoyed so far what I've listened to in The Way of Kings. And, you know, a couple of the characters have got me intrigued. And another one, I'm just like, ooh, I'm not sure about that one. So it'll be interesting to see where Way of Kings goes. Okay, the next book in the list is Beaconfield by Brie R. LeClaire, and I hope I pronounced the name right. If anybody happens to know and I made a mistake, please comment with the correct pronunciation of any of it. But anyway, Beaconfield. I believe she shared this in, I think it was one of the Discord writing groups that I belong to, and I went to check it out on Amazon, and after reading the description, I was absolutely intrigued and immediately had to get it, because this is more the genre that that I read most of. It's like there's always some kind of mystery. You'll always find me reading a mystery. So I'm looking forward to reading this one in June. Whoa, okay, I forgot how heavy this book is. Ugh, I could lift weights with this booger, I swear. And no, I don't expect to finish this one in June, but I'm at least gonna continue it, make a considerable dent in it. I'm still in the first volume, Fellowship of the Rings. Frodo and company have just reached Bree and the Inn of the Prancing Pony, and I think they've just met Strider where I am right now, where my marker is. But I at least hope to get as far as I can in this book, because, you know, I've read it, I don't know, maybe once or twice before this, and I just love it. I mean, it's one of those classics you can read over and over again. And the last book on the list is another ebook, another writing craft book, actually. It's called Creating Character Arcs by K.M. Weiland. And I hope I pronounced that last name correctly. If anyone knows if I made a mistake, please comment below with the right pronunciation, and I'll try to correct that in future videos. But I always struggle with making my characters feel real, like, and not feel just flat, just that they exist on the page. And I forget actually who recommended this book to me, or where I even first found it, but I am looking forward to learning so much more in how to apply a character arc, how to see how characters can change, and to use that in my books, both the stuff that I've already written and in the future. So that is my June TBR list. Thanks everybody for watching. Please comment down below with some of your own books that you'd like to read in June. And for all we know, my TBR list for June might get longer. I might add some of those to my July list. I mean, we'll see, you know? Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give the video a like, a thumbs up if you did. Please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I try to post a video every other week on Thursdays. I might be changing that date, that day of the week in the future. We'll see. But I hope everybody has a great day. Read on.